Good evening. Namaste. Welcome, 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 welcome. I've called a few people, especially today, to share on today's topic because sometimes, we have that exact topic which one has gone through exactly in the same way that we have sort of listed the, topic. Again, this line just popped up from somewhere, and a lot of us have resistance when we hear a no in life. It's not just a no from people around. That, of course, we know how troubling it is when things don't go our way or somebody tells us that no, this is not meant for you. And you truly feel and truly believe that no, this is just the way that I have to go. And I'm not being supported, or I'm not being, given the right green signal to move ahead. And that brings up a lot of resistance, which we also have been speaking about in the past. Um, And I know, particularly one or two people here, and I'm going to ask them to speak because they've gone through such experiences and they have actually said these things to me, and I'm taking the liberty to speak about Vidhi because I had asked her last year, and I've taken her permission to share her name. And I had asked her because last year she went through exactly this. Her mom had corona and it was very, very critical. And she was like, why doesn't God listen to me? And secondly, it was about, admission that she wanted in a particular course in the Delhi University, if I'm not mistaken, Vidhi.
Yes, Auntie.
And she was like, I've done everything. I fully deserve it. This is not fair. The people are, there's some malice in this whole thing. And she tried from every aspect. And I would say she left no stone unturned. No stone unturned. I think she even sort of gave up that entire year or a few months just to, try to get into that. And all she kept hearing was a no. It is what we have to understand is that the no is not from the people there, not from the principal or from the dean of the university or from, our parents or people around. It's actually a no from God. And then when I just heard this line which said that a lot of times God says no because you are aiming for something very low, it just made me reflect again that, oh, is it that way? We don't think that we are aiming for anything low. In fact, we feel that we are aiming for the biggest, for the highest, and this is just how it is going to be. Right? A lot of times I hear people when I do healing for them or, we do some clearing, that nothing has happened. I don't feel any change in myself or in people around me. So it's not working. But I don't believe at all that it's not working. Not just the work that I do or any of you do. It's just that the work is in progress. The work is always in progress. Just fully trust that there is work that is happening. And I'm going to take the liberty once again to share that example of what my guru Ji Muji Baba tells us. This example, which again is so close to my heart. So he once said that, we feel that nothing is happening. So many of us say that, na, I'm stuck in my relationship, I'm stuck in my career, I'm stuck in my education, I just don't know how to move ahead, and nothing is happening. I'm trying everything, even clearings, even healing, even everything possible on this earth. I'm praying, I'm going to the Gurdwara, I've kept a chilya, I'm doing everything, and nothing is working. I'm going to the temple, I'm following all the things that the astrologer has also told me, but still nothing is working. And you feel that you are at a dead end. But that feeling that nothing is working is only in your mind. And the example that he once quoted was that when we put water to boil, when we put milk to boil, for the longest time, even when the flame is on, we feel nothing is happening. Isn't it? We always feel nothing is happening. It's just like I've put it there and nothing, because I can't see anything happening till we start seeing the little bubbles come, and before we know it, the milk boils over. So all this while something was happening which you could not see, isn't it? So that's the trust that we need to have in everything in life, in, even when we feel that nothing is happening, just know that there is a bigger plan. The universe is working for your highest and best. And yes, there are times of disappointment, especially when you hear a no in a lot of ways, or things don't go your way, or you work towards something and it's time for you to now get the rewards and move ahead, and suddenly you feel, oh gosh, my name is not there on the list, I've not got my appraisal, so all my hard work is like not being appreciated, or I'm good for nothing, I'm not good enough. All these thoughts come into our mind, but really it's not so. That's the time that we need to turn inwards. We need to reflect on what is happening, and we need to put our trust in the bigger plan, in the bigger picture. It's just like how we tell our parents as a child that, okay, so I just want this. And the child does not know whether the parent has got the salary, is capable of buying what you want. Does the parent have the ability to buy it at this time? Nothing. There is a deeper trust that, yes, I have told my parent or someone whom you really trust that now that I've told this person, now this thing will be solved. That's the trust that we need to put in the bigger picture. For all you know, it may not be solved in the way that you're wanting. You may not get that whatever it is that you're desiring, but you do it with the trust, isn't it? So when you do it with the trust, when you say it with the trust, then a part of you gets satisfied that, okay, it is, if I've not received it, there is a bigger plan to it. And that bigger plan is because right now what you're asking for may seem very big to you, may seem the ultimate to you, but that's not really the ultimate. And many of you have experienced that at a later point, you say, yeah, thank God this didn't happen. Even though I was praying so much, thank God this didn't go through. So obviously there's a reason, and that God, thank that God who didn't make it happen, just because you are not feeling in alignment. So you say, thank God. If you were still in that resistance, you would say, no, why didn't God make this happen? God doesn't listen to me. My prayers are never answered. I hear this all the time. So I'm going to ask Vidhi to share her experience of last year, because it's something which is just so true. And, she's like such a hardworking student, such a sincere student, and she works towards everything. And she just said this, Auntie, why doesn't God listen to me? I've done everything, God doesn't listen to me. So let's hear from Vidhi. It will be a nice sharing. And anyone else also, just raise your hand and I'm happy for you to share. Yes, Vidhi, go ahead.
Um, Auntie, you described it exactly like how it was last year. I'm doing law right now from Jindal, and I'm in my first year. I graduated like from my undergrad in 2020, and I never thought of having a gap year, because in my mind I had made a checklist that, okay, from 2020 to 2023 I'll be doing my law LLB, and then I'll go for my LLM, and I want to do it from Delhi. So the best college in my mind that time was Campus Law Center, and I studied for that for at least 8-9 months, the whole of 2020, and I gave my entrances, and I was actually pretty sure that I'll get through it, because I had done it really well. Like my entire studying went really well. But when I got my result, I was short of 10 marks. So I thought that I'll be able to, join in the second, third list, because we know it has like all those reservations and all. But so people who were getting lesser marks than me were getting through. So in January 2021, I actually, after crying and howling, we filed for a case in the High Court. And I told Auntie that, Auntie, now I think I probably must have messaged Sujata Auntie from the entire January 2021 till July, especially for my case, more than 1,000 times. Every case hearing, every hour of that case hearing, I was texting, and I used to keep looking at Auntie's WhatsApp. If she's coming online, and if she's going to, reply to me, and what will that reply be? That am I going to, get through this? And there used to be days where I used to feel that, okay, I'm almost getting it. And then again, it used to spiral down. And in between, in April, including me, my parents, they got COVID, and that again changed the entire course, because my mother was hospitalized. She was in the ICU. Even my father was hospitalized. I thought that, okay, at least now.
Vidhi, we can't hear you.
Now can you hear me, Auntie?
Yeah. You were telling us about how you all got COVID and you
So,
mom was hospitalized. Again, you've gone mute, Vidhi. Something is.
Is it fine now, Auntie?
Yeah, it's fine now.
So,
Vidhi, just adjust that because there is something jo hil raha hai wahan pe. We can hear the little sound and then your voice goes.
Is it fine now?
It's fine, but I think when you leave it, something moves.
Okay, I'm just going to put my finger there. So it's fine now.
Okay, yeah, it's fine now.
So it basically like after my mother's COVID, I thought it's finally now things are settled. And now I'm going to, get through my college because I've seen enough. And now God will, I actually said this in my mind that at least now God will have pity on me and just give me what I want. And again, it didn't happen. And I actually like cried. I don't even know what I must have said to Auntie, and I said this is not, nothing is going to go my way. Everyone since my childhood, I started going the other way, and I started saying that, I had heard even these astrologers telling that, I'm not going to get what I want in the first go, and everything is going to be twice as hard to achieve, and I don't know why it's going to happen like that with me. And then suddenly, in September 2021, when there was no, I could not see any light that my case is going to come to its final course of my decision. So I applied for Jindal because I started getting these emails out of the blue. I don't know from where. I never applied for any Jindal subscription. And I started getting these scholarship emails of how, Jindal is connecting with other colleges of US like Harvard, Yale, and still how the admissions are open. And I just one day without studying, I gave the entrance and I got through. And now I feel that has been like my biggest accomplishment because I'm touch wood, I'm loving my course. I'm loving how they are teaching me. And I know that I wouldn't have gotten this in the Delhi University faculty. So I have actually totally changed my stance. And I actually say that thank God I didn't get through Campus Law Center.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vidhi. And I know, she's saying very honestly, she used to just say this, that God is not listening to me. And as you can see that, she is such a hardworking student. She studies so well, she practices so well, and she has all the necessary things that she needs to get through. But of course, there was something bigger that was there. She was only still limiting herself to this, but now where she is, she's doing so well, and she'll probably go ahead, and we'll see her very soon as a great accomplished practicing lawyer. And even when her mother was unwell, it was like, I'm doing everything, but still she's not getting a room, she's not getting oxygen. Every time it was a crisis, every time it was panic, but every time when she needed it, it was there for her. Yes, it was a bad episode, it was really critical, it was a touch and go, we know all that, but that's how life is, isn't it? That's how life is. But you're never being told a no. Maybe that oxygen cylinder that you need is needed for somebody else who's more critical. And by the time, if you need it, you will definitely get what you need. So just have that full trust, because there's always, always, always a bigger picture. Right? That's the trust that we need to live with. So don't get disappointed when you have that no. Know that something is happening, there's work in progress. It's happening, and it's happening for your benefit. It's happening in your favor. So never feel that, God is not listening. It never happens that God is not listening. Isn't it? It's just how your mindset is. That's what we need to understand. Till the time it was only focusing on the Delhi University, everything else was useless. But now she feels that there's something more. So it's your mindset that has changed, isn't it? Yes, of course, Delhi University still has its own merits. It has its own place in the whole, system of education. There's no denial in that. But that's not just what it is. That's not the end of everything, isn't it? Let's hear from you. Vani, you had something to share or ask.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
No, so last week I've bullied Sujata with all my questions, but I think I really trust since last to last, ever since the whole COVID thing has happened, and ever since we've having our regular sessions, I think it's kind of reiterated into the body and system that whatever is happening for the good. Of course, at times when there's too much happening, I think we just kind of, we are happy to connect with you and just get reassured about what we already know. And really grateful to you for that and being there for us to hear us. Thank you.
Yeah, you had a question. I think you put it in the evening. Okay, I didn't read it. I thought maybe I'll ask you here. It's fine. It's only a thing. Anyone else who wants to share, wants to ask? And also, when things are not going your way, don't think that, oh, I should not have done this, because that's not true. That's really not true. There's a reason that you're there. It's not happening in your favor in the way you ideally perceived it to be. But that does not mean that your decision is wrong or you shouldn't have been there. If you shouldn't have been there, you wouldn't have been there. It's as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. Yes, Mamta? I'm quoting you from the morning. Just unmute and speak.
Yeah. So, hi, Sujata. So I've been in a bad state, actually. I just started crying. So I'm in Singapore, and my daughter's dream was to come to Singapore past 6-7 years, and everything just worked out. While I was coming here, I met a COVID positive, and the whole flight I was scared that I'll get COVID. How will it happen? This, that. Then we did our ART for 6 days. Everything was fine. We did shopping. Everything happened well. And my daughter has some issues in her ankle. And yesterday, 2 days, I had to return back. And yesterday she fell outside her apartment and she injured her ankles, knee, everything. She had to be taken to the hospital. And it just too much happened. She needed a wheelchair. I had to shift it was just too overwhelming. I didn't know what was happening. And I kept asking God that, but also, I practiced gratitude and I was doing EFT regularly. Also, when she fell, there was this guy who came outside from the Gurdwara and my friends came. So it was all happening side by side, so I was confused that is God with me or not with me, because God was with me. And so I've been really shattered and emotional and everything. And then, I called up a friend and I'm sitting in her apartment. I shifted and she has a helper and everything. Still, I was just breaking, and I just happened to get this message. Sujata, I have not read I didn't even read
Okay.
I just felt it's for me. I joined it, and when I heard everyone, and I was like, okay, so yeah, there's a bigger plan. And now I understood that what if it happened without me? And so,
Mamta, thanks for that sharing. But a lot of times I don't even feel now that we need to go into the justifications at the later point. Yeah. That what if I hadn't been there? Because in the morning you wrote, I shouldn't have come, I shouldn't. But that's not true. That's where we lose the trust in the spur of the moment. That's where we need to bring in that pause and understand that if you weren't meant to be there, you would not have been there. But just imagine that you being in Delhi and you would have heard that Nandini has fallen, and what would have been your plight? You would have said, oh gosh, why didn't I go with her? Isn't it? So it's much better that you're here. Yes, it's an emotional upheaval. It's a time of crisis. I totally understand. But you know that God is always with you. You are so close to God in every which way, and you know that, isn't it? So it's okay to fight with God. It's okay to say all that you need to, but the strength is also coming from there, isn't it? You are such a wonderful practitioner. You teach people and you are so connected in so many ways. You practice so much with Guruji, with the art of living. So, just have that faith. They're just different names, different practices, different schools, but you're totally held close to God. Just know that all the time. And it's okay to feel the overwhelm. It's okay to feel the emotions. That's what is not wrong. We equate that emotional upheaval to something negative, which is not wrong. Now, actually, we are learning to decondition from all that we have been going through in the past. We are told don't express your emotions or don't feel those negative emotions, but that's not true. It's very natural you're going to feel all these emotions. All of us feel. how much Vidhi cried when she didn't get in, how much every morning she was so brave to go to the hospital, to AIMS, to her mother, to Safdarjung, to give her food, everything, and how much she would cry every day, as a child and you as a mother. But you get the strength at that time, don't you? God also gives you that strength, and you always come out of these challenges more stronger, isn't it? You always come out of these challenges more stronger. When you look back at those things, they seem, Acha, I went through that. Something gave me the courage to go through it, isn't it? And you have full courage behind you. So never feel disappointed, never feel discouraged in that way, but don't stop yourself from feeling all the overwhelm and the emotions. It's concern, it's you're sitting far away in these times where nobody knows where one can get stranded. All that is there to threaten you and make you feel fearful. But that's fine. If you were not meant to be, again, I'm saying you wouldn't be there. So you are where you're, and this is not, I don't even feel, a lot of times people say that God punishes us. God is not punishing you, only you are punishing yourself with your thoughts. Isn't it? If you're walking on a path where you know you're going to fall, the hole is there in front of you, but still you choose to close your eyes and walk, you're meant to fall, and that's also fine. That's also fine. All you need to be is in more awareness. We all fall, all of us fall at various times with different things, physically, mentally, emotionally. We all go through these upheavals, but it's fine. It's never a no. Just understand that no is only because you have thought that the yes is the ultimate answer. So all that we need to understand here, and we're going to take this in our further, Sunday topics, is just what is your belief at that time? What is your thought? What is your perception about the situation that you feel that, yes, it has to be just a yes, and the yes has to be according to my conditions. How we pray, we even go and say, okay, now I've kept a fast, or I'm going to do this. God, just fulfill my wish in the way that I want to. I mean, we are so conditional in our approach in so many ways, so many times also. But now all of us here on this group, we have that ability, we have that strength, we have that trust to really grow and move out of this, and just put the trust in the higher power. And what I say, what I teach, what I've been mentioning here is that ask for the strength to go through the challenge. Change your prayers in such a way that if there's something which you're not resonating with, you're not feeling good about, just ask God that, since God has put you in that position, has put you in that situation, ask for the strength to go through it. That should be your highest prayer, because you're in total acceptance of what is. Whether you accept it or you don't accept it, you're still going to be going through it, isn't it? So ask for the strength to have a deeper acceptance and to be in full surrender. Yeah, and we're all like, you're going to be just fine, Mamta. Nandini is going to be just fine. And see what all you have done to fulfill her dream, isn't it? So just have that trust and faith that, yeah, it's a rocky road for some, it's a smooth for others. So it is just what it is. We are just learning to maneuver our way through the rocky path, and that's just fine. But you're fully supported, you know that, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, Shalini, let's hear from you.
Sujata Di, while I understand this thing of, what is meant to be will happen, and, and the way you were guiding Mamta, that, she should not be thinking that, she should not have gone there, because, it's good that she's there at this point of time rather than she being here. But then at times this question pops in my head, that this attitude or this thought that whatever has to happen will happen, will it not stop us from probably taking responsibility for our actions or what we do? In a way, we can kind of get away with doing something and saying that, this was meant to happen in this way. So I at times get confused in that concept that,
Yeah, I understand. And actually, it's a very subtle line. And that's what we're trying to sort of reinforce through these Reiki meets or the talks or the prayer meets, all that we're doing. We're only trying to confirm that see, if, again, I'm taking Vidhi's or Mamta's example, if they were, something made her reach there, isn't it? something made her reach there. She could have not gone. That could also have happened. But it's, of course, you have to take responsibility to the level where you have to do what you have to do karmically, isn't it? But it's always a bigger plan. And if you're not meant to, I mean, she could have even had the ticket and, sort of not been able to board the flight, or something could have turned her away. Anything can happen. But don't limit yourself by just thinking that this is all that is going to be or going to happen. So what you're asking is that if you just leave everything there, then you become lazy, or you become complacent that, yeah, everything is happening, I don't need to do anything. But that's
Yeah.
not so. You're not operating from an ego space any longer. And again, you will be pushed to do. It's like you don't even need to have your food, because if you're meant to have, the food will go into your mouth, isn't it? But something makes you cook, something makes you put your food in the plate, something makes you eat it, isn't it?
Right.
It's not that you don't do that. So this is the karma. This is the karma that you need to do. So you will do that. You will take on the responsibility. Like we've quoted these two things. She took on the responsibility of being there. She could have said, yeah, okay, the child is old enough and, sensible enough, grown enough to handle it on her own. But something made her go with the child, isn't it? She's not a small child. She's very much capable of going there and doing whatever she wants to pursue. But something made her go there for whatever reasons, and she followed, isn't it? So it's just how the plan was. And there's something in this for her, there's something in this for the daughter. It's there for everybody, isn't it? But if you're in that awareness, you will not question it in this way. That, okay, so I won't do anything. It's not my responsibility. God is doing anything. That's not how life runs, and that's not how any of us operate, isn't it? Then by that means all this wisdom should already be in you. We shouldn't be here talking, and we shouldn't be here discussing. But whatever needs to be done karmically, we are there. Those of you who need to hear these things are here, isn't it? So you take responsibility, but you have to understand that whatever is happening, you have to be there with a deeper awareness that you are not just the doer. They are happening through you, isn't it? They are happening through you. And everything, the more I'm studying on this path or understanding this, the more I'm understanding that it's not about me as a person doing anything. Yesterday we had our, we have a happy hours where we listen to Muji Baba's satsangs, and after that we had a little meet with a few of the followers, led by Rohini, and we were just discussing this, and all that I was saying was that now even the person sort of, when any of these scriptures, what do they teach us? That you are not the body, you're not the person. Then who are you? And for the longest time, it was so difficult to say this or to understand this. Of course, this is me, this is the body. But as you grow, you understand that everything is just an energy. And slowly, you just melt into that energy. There's no effort also required there. There's no belief that you have to break. And all these talks, all these modalities, all these therapies that we are going through, at least those who are following us know that we are only pointing you to this one universal truth. And that's what, whether it is hearing a no from God or whether it is breaking resistances, it's all just happening in the third dimensional realm where we are thinking that we are the doers, isn't it? But that's not true. These things are showing us that we are not the doers. Everything is happening and we are playing along. This is what life is. So it's a very big question that you have asked, but understand that this is what ultimately everybody needs to understand, that yes, we are taking responsibility, but yet we are not responsible. Isn't it? The responsibility is from a higher space where we can say that, yes, so I was put here on this path and God is making me do this. So many things that we like, we feel very happy that God is making us do. But where we don't like, then we feel that no. So everything is just happening in a bigger plan. Just contemplate on your own question. It's a very powerful question, because this is the ultimate truth, but you are taking responsibility from a higher realm where there is no separation between you and God also. Isn't it? Right? Even to drive a car, we need to put in the fuel. Somebody has to, it's not that, okay, so cars are meant to be driven, they'll just go. There has to be some mechanics to the whole thing, isn't it?
Right.
So we are in our body going through life in that same way. We are that vehicle. And to really understand that at the ultimate, we all dissolve into one, formless being. Whether it's an animal, whether it's a plant, whether it's a leaf, whether it's a flower, it's all one consciousness in different expressions. So good. Reflect on what you're saying. It's a very important question. And as you go along, the more you sort of are able to discover this truth, the more you'll be able to be at ease with everything that is happening in life.
Sure. Thanks, Miss.
Thank you. Yes, Srishti?
Hi, Auntie. I have a question.
Hmm.
So, Auntie, sometimes you're put in a situation you don't know whether to go ahead or whether to stop yourself in few situations. So, Auntie, what to do at that point of time?
So see, either you push yourself to take a decision, but the fact is the decision is already made, isn't it? So the more we fight to get an answer, it's like going through all the confusion, the chaos that is there in the mind and not being able to get an answer. I always say that when you're in such a situation where you're not able to get an answer, just don't push yourself to get an answer. It's not time to take an answer. Or the other thing is just to be silent and pray. I would say the biggest thing, the best thing that we've learned through the COVID and otherwise is just pray that God give me the answer. I can't get the answer on my own. I'm not getting that clarity. And the moment you become a little silent, you'll get the answer. Because the answer is already there, isn't it? The answer is already there. You just need to be more silent. We do so many things when we want that answer, don't we say, okay, let's ask the pendulum, let's take out a tarot card, let's see where is the guidance coming from. It's all coming from that one source, isn't it? So when you're feeling too much of mind chatter, you're feeling you can't get an answer, don't struggle to get an answer. And yes, again, there may be a time when some timelines need to be met or you need to give an answer. Just trust yourself, trust your intuition and say whatever is the right answer. Just pray to God and just go ahead with that trust that, yeah, this is what the answer is meant to be for that time. And it may be totally wrong according to, whatever the situation is, but I don't believe it is wrong. Isn't it? You would not answer if you knew that it is wrong. You would not take that road, isn't it? But you feel according to your awareness, according to your ability, this is the right path to take. And that's when you need to just trust your answer. Whatever might happen later is not in our hands. Something is making you make that choice, isn't it? Something is telling you, yeah, that maybe this is what you should do. So trust your intuition. Fully trust your intuition and jump into that.
Okay. Thank
and
you.
then there's no looking back. You may fall, that's fine, but you can pick yourself up and move ahead.
Thank you, Auntie. Really needed that answer. I think Auntie Didi also has a question. So thank you.
Yeah, 50.
So Auntie, for example, there are certain repeated patterns in your life. So is that the time when God is saying no to you? Don't repeat those lessons, or what is the signal from the God?
No, it is not. It's a pattern. You're saying that be aware that it is a pattern. You know that it is a pattern, isn't it? And you know that that pattern is not serving you. So God is just pushing you to be more in awareness that you can choose something different. It's just like I'm giving you the example because, I've dealt with children, teaching them maths, most of you. So many times we know that, okay, so 7 3s are 21. But there are these mistakes that the children make that every time when they have to write 7 multiplied by 3, they'll write 24 or 23 or something like that. And they know it. When they're reciting the tables, they know the answer. So it's something that has gone amiss, something that has gone wrong. And that is what you have sort of, confirmed in your mind. And if you don't make that pause, you will definitely give the wrong answer. So many of us do it. There are particular spellings that we always get confused in, isn't it? We make that same spelling mistake while we're writing because we do it unconsciously. We do it as a pattern. We do it as a sort of a mistake. Again, I'm giving you a very mundane example, but this really is true for these bigger patterns and these bigger beliefs that we fall in trap with. So just be in awareness. If you just take that pause, remembering, okay, every time I do this mistake when I'm doing my calculation, let me just pause. I know the answer. So the moment you come into that awareness, then you know God is only telling you to be more in awareness and not just, do whatever you're doing mindlessly. Just be mindful of everything. And what is it being mindful? We all come back, we all come back to the same thing. Just be fully in the present. Just be fully in the present. Then you will not make the mistake. You will not doubt yourself. So many times it happens, isn't it? When we read books, we see it on the news that at a particular time, somebody has to jump in and take an action, even if it is fatal. Isn't it? You have to turn the car, otherwise, there are a group of people whom the truck would have just gone over, and you hit an accident on the side. So you do have to take those split-second decisions, because that's what the best thing that you decided, that had you gone straight, you would have hit a whole group of people. So you swayed the car or the truck to the left and you got hit and you got whatever, it could be a fatal accident, it could be, like something very critical. But at that moment, you chose the best, isn't it? So just understand that you have to be more mindful about whatever you're doing, more in awareness with everything that you're doing. Isn't it? God is always telling you to be fully aware of every word that you're speaking, every action that you're taking. And it doesn't take long. Through these practices, you just start living like that, don't we? Does that answer your question, Srishti?
Yes, Auntie, getting it. It's slowly.
It's fine. You're on the right path.
Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you. Arjun, I want to hear your sharing.
Hi, Sujata. So,
Hi.
The topic of today's talk, I've seen it so many times since we've been working together. When we first connected, it was about some issues I was having in my family. And I think the way it got resolved, I can see in hindsight now, the way I wanted it. And what actually happened was much better. The same with work. There was something at work that I wanted, I think 4 years back, and I'd given up on it. It happened now. So I've seen this many times, especially since we've been working together. But I wanted to share something I shared with you earlier this week, and something I thought about that. So, and as I told you, my oldest friend passed away very suddenly, and she was pregnant. So it was a very devastating situation. And when we had our session, that time before that I was thinking, what is the possible benefit in this, right? Like how can someone who's 36, so full of life and who I've known all my life, how can her going benefit anyone? But after our session, I suddenly remember this phrase that I read a few years back in a book on spirituality that said, the highest function of the intellect is to know its own limitations. And that's when I realized that, okay, there are certain things that happen in our life where I can see that this happened this way because it was good for me. But there are certain things that will happen that I'll never understand, and I don't need to, because I'm not God. So it's about accepting what happened and saying that there are certain things which may never make sense to me, and that's also okay. I don't need everything that happens to make sense. And I think that's like when we did our session, that was the biggest thing that came with it, and that gave me a lot of peace. So instead of questioning why it happened, I could just accept it happened, feel the sadness, and feel it's okay to be sad because it's very devastating. And that acceptance of what happened is what I think is helping me through it, rather than questioning why, because I don't think I'll ever have an answer, and I don't need an answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that sharing. And I remember, I just messaged you after New Year's, and you did say this, say that, you're very upset and you're just not feeling grounded because of your closest and oldest friend who was pregnant and nearly full term, and she passed away. So obviously, at such points we question, don't we, that why did this happen? What could be the good in this? But as Arjun is saying, and this is something which I always enforce, that don't try to look for an answer. Don't try to look for an answer. Those answers are just like band-aids. You get pacified at that time, but later on again, you feel, no, that is not true. Like a lot of times people say, I'm not feeling good. Okay, it's because of the full moon. It's because of the new moon. Those energies are troubling me. But suddenly you feel in the middle of a lunar cycle where there's no full moon and no new moon, and still you're not feeling good. So don't try to get those answers, because that's really limiting. That's very, very limiting. And there's always a bigger picture. There's always a broader perspective, which we may never be able to know. And don't waste your time trying to know that. A lot of times when we start on this journey, we feel, only if I know why this happened, I will be at peace. But believe me, you're never at peace. So many times we do regressions and people say, just if I know that why this person is in my life, I will be able to be at peace. But it actually doesn't give you peace. It troubles you more. It troubles you more. So drop the need to know why, and also taking it one step further from what Arjun shared, know that if that answer needs to be revealed to you, sooner or later it will be revealed to you. If you're meant to know why this happened, it will be revealed to you. Otherwise, somebody will say something, at that time you'll feel pacified and peaceful, but very soon you'll again be, restless, because it's not really the ultimate, and nobody can ever know the ultimate. It's only to pacify yourself at that time. Your own mind will tell you, forget about anybody else. Isn't it so? You are angry, you're upset, and then after some time when you feel a little settled, you will tell yourself only that, yeah, I think it was good that it didn't happen for me. So we don't need an external source to tell us this. But that's also just to pacify yourself and to pacify your ego more than anything else. Isn't it? To pacify your ego because it's not got what it wanted. But what we are looking at and focusing on is that bigger perspective. It is not, this is how it is meant to be, and this is what it is. Everything is in perfect divine order. And sometimes there are things like Arjun narrated this incident. I mean, why would one think what can be the good in this? So there doesn't need to be a good, but yes, it is not, life is not just what we plan. It's not just that picture perfect that we draw, in our drawing books or in our sketchbooks. That's not how it is. There's so much more that we can't see. And just trust that when you're meant to see, that awareness will just come to you. And then there'll be no questioning. You won't ask anybody. Same way as Srishti was asking, when that answer comes to you, you won't even have to, you won't question it. You won't ask so many people that, okay, should I do this or should I do that? It'll just be so sure in your awareness. This is just what it is, and that's all. So just at that moment, when you hear the no, when you hear that, oh, this is not happening the way I thought it should happen, just hold on and just show that trust in the universe, in the bigger picture. And everything else will just fall into place. And even if it doesn't, it's fine. It's not meant to fall into place. That's just fine. What's wrong with it? That's just how it is. Yes, Vinita?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, so people have shared such beautiful experiences of trusting in the, the higher picture. And so a small thing that happened, like, there was a plan of a school reunion kind of a thing, just 6-7 people. One of my friends was coming from Mumbai to drop her child at Pilani, and on the way back, she wanted to meet all of us. So this was planned around a month or, or two back. But, we were a little worried considering the corona situation, but seeing her excitement, and it was planned since so long. So we decided to meet for a little time at a safe place. So we were 6-7 people who were supposed to meet. And one of the guys, he was super excited that, I am waiting to meet all of you. You guys have met in between, but I haven't, 25 years and all that. So finally we reached, and this guy did not turn up. And he did not even leave a message. We messaged him, no response. So after 3 or 4 days, I think yesterday, I mean, it's been around a week since we met. So yesterday, he drops one line on the WhatsApp group that I'm so happy that I did not meet you guys. So my other friend, she's sending me a message on the private chat that how absurd they are. I mean, what is he saying that I'm happy that I did not meet you? So then he completed the line after 2 minutes that, today my report has come, it is positive. I'm so happy that, I did not meet you guys. So we were thinking, what, he didn't even revert to us, and why he could not make it. He could have spared some time out of his schedule. So like that, and see, now we see the bigger picture.
Yeah, but so you said something very important, Vinita, that as he wrote one line, there were already conclusions that and a split second later, when the second half of this message came, it was like, oh God, thank God it didn't happen. So that's the pause that we need to take. And
Yeah.
it's not him writing it, it's just a message that, he's not meant to be there. And
Yeah.
that's for all your safety. So of course, that's the responsibility. Shalini, you were asking, that's the responsibility that dawns upon us at that time, not to take that outing, even though we are dying to go. That's the responsibility and the onus that dawns upon us, not to take the, impulsive decision. Of course, this is a very different case, but yeah, this is also an example of the same. Thank you for sharing, Vinita.
Thank you.
Praneeth, you have a question?
I don't have a question. I also wanted to share, but I didn't know how to put a hand up in the box.
Okay, it's okay. I got your message.
I just wanted to share also, it's been really, really a very enriching, let me say, experience from the time I started speaking with you, which was a complete mess a year and a half ago, and my whole life was coming apart and I was just questioning everything. And I think part of it was the whole personality of trying to control everything and being in charge, and how could this be happening to me? And now a year and a half later, and things are unfolding in their time, in their way. And I think the biggest lesson for me has been, let go, do your best, leave the rest, breathe, trust. And however long they're taking, and I'm smiling as things are unfolding, because the way they are unfolding, I could not have imagined. I could not have, and it's for my growth and for my best. And there was no way a year and a half before I could have envisioned this. Not that anything has come to conclusion even now, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and in a very different way than what I had wanted or expected. So just wanted to say thanks for giving me the Therav or whatever, the energy.
I said, thank you for hanging in there, because you have to really understand that some of us are those control freaks who had everything running according to how we wanted for the past, all our life, and suddenly life throws you in this where you just don't know where you're going, and all that has brought you to this at this time, at this age, suddenly you feel, oh my God, everything is slipping out of my hands. Now is the time for me to sit back and enjoy all that I've been working towards, and now suddenly everything is just flying away. But that's how it's meant to be. Again, that's just how, and it's unfolding, like she said, in the way that it's meant to unfold. So just hang in there, just trust, just hang in there, and you'll see things unfolding in the most perfect way. Thank you for sharing, Praneeth. And I know initially it's been very tough. And what happens is, again, don't take this personally. Sometimes you just drop, that contact. You stop coming for the prayer meets, you stop coming for the Reiki or for these sessions and all, because it's like nothing is working. I mean, I don't know what all this is, because a lot of us come into this also thinking that this could be my path to having things my way. But actually, it's just the opposite. Things are just going to be the way they are meant to be, but this is just a very solid ground for you to move on and, look at it from that aspect. Ritika, am I going to hear something from you?
Yeah, Auntie, I actually had a question.
Yeah.
What if there is like a tough situation in front, and just like the way you said that, sometimes you're praying for some things to work out, or you're really trying to channelize your energy in terms of either receiving that answer, getting clarity, or just just like, it going in the direction that you want it to go. How do you have at that moment have that faith that it will unfold beautifully? How do you have that trust?
So Pritika, it's not about one challenging situation or one thing that is happening in your life. That faith and that trust just has to be your way of living. It just has to be your way of living. You have a young child, you yourself have, grown up with your parents, and you know that that kind of trust that we have in the bigger picture, or when we are not so much in awareness, when we don't think so much, things are just happening, isn't it? Till our ego develops and we start thinking that, okay, now things should be my way. You never teach a young child that saying no is wrong. But the moment you start saying no and the child becomes a little older, when the child starts to develop a identity and ego, the child gets so angry when you say a no, because he or she knows that things are not going our way, isn't it? So the trust does not have to come just in that particular situation. The trust has to be that, okay, I'm asking for it. Let me just ask for it and sit back and do whatever I'm guided to do. If it happens, good. If it doesn't happen, that's also good. Let me have that kind of trust. Pray for that wisdom, pray for that strength. And again, if it happens, you'll feel very joyous, experience those emotions. If it doesn't happen, you'll feel disappointed, you'll feel sad, experience those emotions. But very soon, you're out of it and you're moving ahead. Again, you are one person who's really manifested a lot of things by your prayers and your hard work, isn't it? We've worked, I mean, you're one example of that, I would say, because it's like, okay, now I'm going to work towards it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it has happened because that's been in alignment. And sometimes now that it's not happening, or it's not maybe going the way that you really want it to unfold, trust that also. Just trust that also. Not one situation, but every situation.
Right.
So many times you've reached out, we've been able to connect. So many times you've reached out, I've not been able to connect also. Isn't it? But you have the trust that, my message has been read, and, ma'am will look at it or will respond at a later.
It's actually uncanny. You respond in the right time. It's almost like that. But when I probably need you to, and I do agree. I think while, since the time I came to you, which is a number of years back to now, I think some things have been delayed. But yes, I think at that moment, Auntie, I think my struggle is that moment. I think that moment to keep faith that, okay, this is this, because there is also an element of resistance to a situation.
Absolutely. And it's actually just not for you. That moment is the moment for everybody. It's all of us go through that. Some of us are impulsive and we immediately jump to conclusions that, this is just not happening. And some of us are a little more patient, but still we don't agree with what is happening. And that's what we are trying to build through these sessions, and, to understand that the no is again just a no. That same no becomes a yes in a different situation, doesn't it? We've all seen these things in our life. All of us here have seen these things. But at that moment, when you're hearing a no, or life is presenting a no in front of you, that's the moment of trust. That's when you need to fully trust. If everything falls your way, everything life goes in that way, so there's nothing to really question or ask or, feel bad about. And then again, we say, okay, it's the small things that we don't feel bad about, but the bigger things, we feel more bad about. But there's no, all these things are very, very relative, isn't it? The yes, no, the big, small. What is big to you could be small for somebody. What is small for you could mean the world for somebody. Isn't it? So understand, everything is just unfolding in the way, in the manner, in the amount, in the time that is perfect for you. You are not the decider. You are not the doer. And that, again, I say that does not mean that you stop aspiring, you stop, wanting to pray, or you stop asking. Never. Ask and it is given is the policy that I follow, which I learned in my SRT. Ask and it is given. How it is given, when it is given, who gives it is not our problem. That's just not your responsibility. Just ask and then just be in that trust that it'll happen in the most perfect way. I may not be liking that way. I may not be agreeable. So ask for the strength to go through that in a most peaceful and trusting way. Ask to be more trusting, to be more in faith. Won't life be so beautiful? It's just like a small carefree child who just knows it's fine. And again, Pritika, I want to give you this example. Again, like most of you know, my examples are very mundane and simple. But if you know your child is asking for something which is not good for her, you know that if she has that extra chocolate, it's going to harm her teeth. Or even when you take your child for a vaccination and the child is crying and, you don't want to give her the vaccination, the needle is going to hurt and the child will be in fever for the next 2-3 days. But you as a parent as God, make her go through that those 2-3 days, isn't it, of fever, or of at that time distracting her and not giving her what you know is not for her highest and best, because you have so much trust in your own self, isn't it? That's the trust that you have to have in God also, that you're not getting that chocolate or you're going through that ill health for some reason, because that's going to give you immunity for life. That's going to help you against the disease. That's going to save your teeth from, getting decayed. So every time think of that. Think of yourself as that small child. Okay, I'm throwing a tantrum. I really want it. I'm feeling angry. I'm just, throwing a tantrum at that time. But very soon you go back to life and knowing that, okay, it's something that happened and just move on.
Got it.
So fight by all means, argue, cry, say what you want to, but just do that in the trust of, just as a small child does. Don't let your ego come in between and say, okay, I'm never going to ask again. I'm never going to go to the temple again. I'm never going to pray again. That's when we are operating from the ego. And please, like Arjun said, feel all your emotions. Just allow yourself to feel the sadness, the hurt, the grief, because if they get accumulated inside and they're not fully addressed, then they'll develop sooner or later in the body as all these lifestyle disorders. Bitterness leads to diabetes, heart attacks, cancer is resentment, the body-mind connect that we talk about. So express them fully, allow yourself to be in that, experience that pain, and you will come out of it.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you. Thank you, Pritika. So that's it. It's we had a nice interactive Sunday conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Keep sharing, keep putting in your thoughts, and see, when we talk about these examples of real, just people in the small group who've gone through so much and are understanding it at a later time, just trust that even if you're going through some kind of a challenge, sooner or later, you'll be out of it. It's all passing. It's all passing and it's all perfect.